So you went and got yourself a shiny new portable CD player and you bought some CDs and you are really happy about that, but now you're wondering, how can I make some mixtapes or mix CDs? A lot of ways on your computers that you can do this nowadays. I mean, everyone for the most part is used to just using Spotify or Apple Music and just creating these playlists or having these playlists created for you with music that you want to listen to. But how do you do that with music that you own and creating a mixtape slash mix CD for something like this? Well, you have to start with the necessary items. You're going to need a computer. Obviously, you're going to need a computer that has a CD drive to be able to burn CDs. Now, CDs are these right here. This is a blank CD that you can buy still at the store. You can buy them in 30 packs or larger, depending on how many you plan on actually using. But you can get these on Amazon or anywhere for super cheap. Honestly, even check thrift stores because I bought a nice 50 pack of these at Goodwill for $5. And it was still sealed and everything. So double check something like a Goodwill or a thrift shop or something first before you go out and spend a little bit more money on them. So just keep that in mind. This will go ahead and play CDs that you've already bought, like this Tron soundtrack. You can go ahead and just put it in and start playing it. But sometimes you want to go ahead and actually choose a mix of artists to have all on one CD. Well, that's what we used to do back in the day. I'm going to show you how to do that using iTunes, and I know iTunes has been replaced with Apple Music app on Windows and on Mac, but on Windows you can still get iTunes, and that's the method I'm going to show you today. The reason for that is I still have an iPod, and iTunes works with my iPod to be able to put music, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to have the links down below on how you can download iTunes yourself. And also keep in mind, please, the music that I'm using here is music that I already own or have downloaded already to my computer. So this is not something you can do with your Spotify playlist, with your Apple Music subscription stuff. The music has to be your own music that you have purchased or downloaded already, but is not off of some subscription service. That just won't work. So let's go ahead and switch over to my computer and show you guys exactly how I make a quick playlist, burn it to this CD, and then we go ahead and put it on here to make sure that it's actually working. Let's jump over there. All right, guys, so here we are on my computer, and as you can see here, we have iTunes opened up. And I know a lot of people will say that iTunes is an outdated software, but honestly, it has always worked for me to put music onto my iPod or to create playlists and burn them to CDs. So I had just made one yesterday for my wife here called The Hits, and I went ahead and burned that to a CD and everything came out great. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the CD that I showed earlier. And we should get a pop-up that'll come up shortly telling us that we've inserted a blank CD. So here is your pop-up that comes up, and honestly, this pretty much tells you exactly what to do and how to do it. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. So to create a new playlist, you're just going to go to File, and then New, Playlist. Now you can name the playlist whatever you want. Let's just call it Greatest Hits. And it's not because I'm seeing the ACD one, but let's just call it that, right? Okay, so now this is my library of music that I have on my computer. This has come from many sources, CDs, music that I've downloaded through Amazon or iTunes purchases that I have made. All of that is stored on here. Now, let me give you an example of stuff that you bought on iTunes but isn't downloaded. As you can see, these have this little cloud icon. But this is music that I purchased. And if I want to download it, I go ahead and hit download by clicking the cloud, and then I can go ahead and add it to a playlist. So, as of right now, I'm not really sure what kind of playlist I wanted to create because, well, I don't need another CD at the moment. But let's just go ahead and randomly add some music on here. Let's go ahead and start here with a CD. So let's go ahead and just put some good tracks on here. And as you can see, all I'm doing is clicking and dragging the file to the Greatest Hits playlist. And then it'll show up on there. It doesn't matter the order that you add them in. You can always go in later and go ahead and change up the order of your playlist. So if you don't want it in the order that you added them, you can go ahead and change that. So let's go ahead and add a couple more here. We'll go ahead and add some more AC/DC. Let's make this like a metal one. So let's go ahead and look for Metallica here. I know I have them somewhere. Oh God, where is their stuff? I'm not sure where the Metallica stuff went. Okay, well, let's go ahead and add Motley Crue here. So let's go ahead and add Kickstart My Heart. Let's add Home Sweet Home, and we're going to drag them over to Greatest Hits. So as I mentioned, you can always go ahead in here and move around the order in which you want the tracks to appear. Say you don't want AC/DC in a row, you want to switch between them like this, right? And that's it. That's all there really is to it. So let's see if I can just put some more stuff on here. I don't have too much metal on the computer. I listen to metal, I just don't have too much of it on my computer. Yeah, okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and burn a disc because I don't want to waste one, but say you've gone ahead and added as many tracks as you can, which is also something you have to know there's a limitation on. Some CDs will only have up to 60 minutes, some will have up to 90 minutes of recording time. The great thing about that is here it shows you exactly how many minutes you've used up so far in creating your playlist. If you exceed that amount, you're going to get a message. It's going to tell you, hey, that's too many songs. You can't burn all those to a CD. So keep an eye on this amount right here. You could have 30 songs if they were under 60 minutes, but that's probably not likely. But always keep an eye on this. Generally, I want to say 12 to 15 tracks is safe on how many you can fit on a CD. Again, it depends how long the tracks are. So once you're ready to burn your CD, you can go ahead and click these three dots right over here, and you're going to get Burn Playlist to Disk. Now, I believe you can also do that from File, Burn Playlist to Disk. So now this screen will come up showing you your disk burner, which is your CD DVD drive. Preferred speed, maximum possible. You want to just set it as maximum. It's just how fast it's going to write to the CD. I always leave it at that. And as you can see here, we have audio CD. We can choose to have a gap between songs, meaning there's a decent amount of space between each track, or we want the next track to play as soon as the other one ends. Include CD text. This is great if you're going to use a CD player that displays CD text. That way you can see the name of the tracks and stuff. I always just have it included, even though my Sony CD Walkman doesn't have that kind of display. It only displays the track number. But you can keep this checked if you have your tracks listed on here like this. Now, an MP3 CD is something I didn't talk too much about, but some CD players have an MP3 player option. What that means is you can add a lot more music to the CD and it'll play. And instead of, you just have to make sure you get the right kind of CD player for it, because not all of them have the option to read MP3 CDs. So keep that in mind. I would just say do audio CD because that's going to be supported on all CD players that you're going to burn this on. And then that's it. You just hit burn and it'll start the burn process. Depending on how many songs you have, it could take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes or so. Probably not any more than that. But yeah, guys, that's how you that's how you create a playlist, and then that's how you burn the playlist to a CD, and then you can go ahead and listen to it later. I personally love doing this because as much as I love listening to an artist's full CD, sometimes you just want a nice playlist of some of your favorite artists and the favorite songs that you like to listen from them. So let me know down in the comments if this video was helpful for you, if there's a different software that you would prefer to use. Again, I use iTunes. You can use the built-in Windows stuff, but iTunes to me is nice and clean. It's very easy. If I need to change any track info, I can just go to song info here, and I can make the necessary changes I need to the track. And if I need to remove any from the playlist, I can do that as well if I don't want it on there anymore. But yeah, guys, again, you have to have the music on your computer stored. It cannot be from any kind of streaming service. It just can't. I'm sorry. You have to find a way to get the music go to your thrift stores. They usually sell them for $1 or $2. You're gonna find a lot of music that way. You can also go to your record shops, look up vinyl record shops. A lot of them will still sell CDs for super cheap because a lot of times they're just trying to get rid of them. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. I've been Rudy with the Retro Universe. Take it easy. Bye-bye.